Hi everyone, today we're going to work on a Dalbergia Armata. This is a vine that grows along the South African east coast and goes right up into Africa, halfway up the continent. It's a beautiful and amazing species to work with, indigenous to our coastline. And I want to turn this into a very South African style. When I say South African style, I'm talking about if you look at the overseas trees, a lot of the branches come down. In this case, we want the branches to stay up. So if you look at eventually what I'm trying to create here is a South African style. And just to give you an idea of what the tree looks like before we do the work on it, that's what it looks like from that angle. And I've decided to make this my front. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we're going to design this tree accordingly. Okay, we wired this trunk from the middle to the top here, and one of the branches here. The rest of it we're going to try and keep as natural as possible. With that in mind, I'm going to first bend that back to open that trunk up. Okay, just to have a look at that from my side. Need a little bit more on that end. Okay, and that I'm going to bring out here. Okay, on this branch, I'm going to keep it pretty as it is, just getting rid of the extra growth that is growing at the moment. Some of it is last season's growth, some of it is even older. This tree is approximately 15 years old, so keeping that in mind. Okay, that I want to grow on that end there, so I'm going to cut that back there and cut that back there. Okay, now working on this top here, this strong branch is very strong, and with this particular species, if you leave a branch like that, that whole trunk will basically draw itself into this branch, and you'll get the same thickness of girth along that whole line. So I'm going to remove that completely. Okay, that's what it looks like now. And some of these branches that are growing up here as well, cut that off. That one's growing pretty strong as well. Cut that off. There's two branches on this side which we're going to get rid of. That one and that one. Okay, if you want anything to thicken, then you would leave an apical growth on that particular branch. Otherwise, you can cut it short and let it regrow again. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we now have, let me look at that again. Okay. I'm going to bend that a little bit more. Bring that a little more back. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, now to clean up some of the growth on this end, I'm going to cut that one shorter. Get rid of that. On this branch here, that's a very strong growth there as well. Get rid of that. Okay, then I'm going to cut all this and just give it a haircut. When I say a haircut, I mean just a light shortening of all the branches along that whole line. Okay, you can see that. The same thing I'm going to do on this end. Okay, And the same thing on this end as well. Okay, that branch, I'm going to keep it a little bit to the front. Okay, that also looks quite strong there and going very high up. So we're not going to let that become two apexes and they're going to start vying with each other. We'll cut that short as well and get rid of that. See, that makes that quite nice and neat. And this as well needs to come shorter here. So we'll cut that off. Okay, at this stage I think, let's clean this out. We don't need these, that growth that's coming off there. That needs to be wired and put into position there. Okay, this particular branch is sitting in the center. We're going to bring it out into the sun and give it its own space. So that will fill up the back area here. And there we go. This bit of branch is growing forward, so we're going to cut that off completely. Okay, that's basically giving us our basic structure, and like everything else, we'll work with the balance as we go along. I'm going to trim that a little more. Okay, that looks better. Okay, I don't like that going into the tree. We're going to cut that off as well. There we go. Alright. That's basically what we're going to do for now. And let this grow and develop, and we'll work on that again sometime in the future.